Welcome you back tonight to Wyoming SportsLine. I'm Jared Anderson. The Wyoming and Montana High School All-Star Basketball Series wrapped up over the weekend, and while it wasn't the result Wyoming teams wanted, both boys and girls going 0-4 against Montana, it was still a great experience if you talk to most of the athletes, and a learning experience for everyone on the team, plus some postseason recognition, which is always a good thing. In Sheridan on Friday nights, Mr. and Miss Basketball in the state of Wyoming were named. Mr. Basketball went to Riverton's Chris Quayle. Miss Wyoming Basketball went to Cheyenne South High School's Dani Noble. The very first Miss Wyoming Basketball from Cheyenne South is with us on the phone now. Dani, thanks so much for taking some time out of your nights. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Congratulations, first of all, on being named Miss Basketball Wyoming. That was announced in Sheridan this weekend. How did you find out, and what was your reaction?
I found out after our game against Montana, the first one at Sheridan, and right after the girls' game and then right before the boys' game, and I was pretty excited. They were saying all the stuff about this young athlete who has had a great career and throughout her high school career, and then turns out it was me, so it was really exciting.
Absolutely. Did you have any idea that award was something you could accomplish? Did you kind of expect it?
I didn't really expect it because my high school career was not as great as I hoped it would be, sadly, but I was expecting like someone else who has gone to state, who helped lead their team to state and do great in regionals, and I wasn't expecting it in the least little bit, so it was a great surprise.
What more did you want to accomplish in high school, just as a team or individually?
As a team, I really wanted us to go to state, and it would be the first time that we would have gone to state, but it didn't happen, and that's okay because we really grew together as a team.
Yeah, talk about your Cheyenne South experience. I know you're going to the next level, and we'll get to that, but your Cheyenne South experience, what did your teammates and your classmates mean to you?
They mean the world. Without them, nothing that I have accomplished would have been possible. So without my coaches, the teammates, the support from everyone, the amazing faculty at South, nothing would have been possible without them.
Do you have a favorite moment from playing at South?
Probably our first conference win against Laramie, and I believe it was my junior year. We got that game, and it was our fourth conference win that year.
You talked to our WyoPreps.com not too long ago, and I heard a story, and I don't know if this is true or not, but you hated basketball at first. Is that true, and what changed?
Yeah, when I was little, I absolutely despised the game of basketball. I couldn't stand it. I would lock myself in the bathroom at the basketball gym that we would be at, and I would just stay in there until the end of the game and practices, and I wouldn't come out until the end. But when I moved from Rose Hill, Kansas to Atwood, Kansas, it all changed. I had different coaches, different teammates that had a common goal that we wanted to accomplish together, and then I just fell in love with the game.
Great career at Cheyenne South High School, and before we talk about Northern Colorado, I do want to ask one question about the Wyoming and Montana All-Star Series. What was that experience like, and was it kind of weird playing with a group of girls you've never played with before and maybe have competed against?
Yeah, it was different. I wasn't so sure about how it would handle. I was like, well, on the court, we absolutely despise each other because we're all great athletes, and we just wanted to beat each other during the season, but now we have to come together and play against another great Montana team and try to pull ourselves together and be positive and be encouraging. And it really worked out for us. We didn't get the wins, but we became more a team that day.
Dani Noble is our guest, Miss Wyoming Basketball, Cheyenne South High School graduate, and now it's on to Northern Colorado for you, Dani. Why Northern Colorado, and are you excited about this opportunity?
Well, since 8th grade, I've wanted to go D1 because my coach, Reagan Delaney, always told me, Dani, if you work hard, you can accomplish anything. And I can see you going D1. You just have to work. So ever since then, I was like, I want to go D1. And I had UNC, UW, and some D2 schools and a couple D3 schools looking at me. And UNC was in my favor. And so I chose UNC, and I'm excited for my future with them.
And I'm not in the least trying to take anything away from UNC, but is there any kind of a chip on your shoulder that the University of Wyoming offer wasn't necessarily the right fit for you? Does that make you extra motivated?
It does, because I really wanted to play for Wyoming, but stuff happens and sometimes things don't work out. Most importantly, they didn't have my major that I wanted to go into. I want to go into special education, and they didn't have that, while the University of Northern Colorado did.
Anything you're most concerned with before college? What are you going to work hard on your game this offseason?
Ooh, I need to work more on my ball handling skills. My skills pertaining to basketball, since I was a three-sport athlete in high school, I really need to start focusing just on basketball and getting my skills to develop even more.
And then you mentioned special education. Any future plans beyond that? Just take it kind of one year at a time right now?
Well, I would like to become a special education teacher and or a social worker or a counselor.
All right. Very good. Dani, really appreciate the time. Congratulations on all the success at Cheyenne South. Best of luck at UNC. We'll be rooting for you, and I hope we can catch up again soon.
Thank you.
That is Miss Wyoming Basketball, Cheyenne South High School's Dani Noble. Dani led the Wyoming All-Star girls with 10 points in Billings in that Wyoming Montana All-Star Series on Saturday. She would tie with Riverton's Cami Fegler with 9 points apiece on Friday in the game in Sheridan. Very well deserved. Congratulations to Dani Noble being named Miss Wyoming Basketball. We are efforting Riverton's Chris Quayle, Mr. Wyoming Basketball, to get him on the program here in the next few days on Wyoming SportsLine. We'll take a short time out right here. When we come back, going to get to a few regional and national pro sports notes. Got an NBA championship to tell you about. And while we're talking NBA, there's some Denver Nuggets news today. Colorado Rockies back in action against the Houston Astros. Now they're in Denver. So we'll talk about that when we come back tonight on Wyoming SportsLine.